right, we ready, Ian?
We're ready!
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy and you're watching the Jimmy in the Wild channel. It's good to see that you made it back here and I've got some really amazing fishing footage to show you. But before we get to that, please take a second or two and click that big red subscribe button so you can find our way back here for all the upcoming fishing fun. And if you wouldn't mind, smash that thumbs up button if you like the video. So this is the first in a series of episodes filmed on an epic backpacking, hiking, camping, and fishing trip into the southern end of the Wind River Mountains in Wyoming. I went on a similar trip last year with the same group of guys to the same area and it was an absolute blast. And I'm so glad that they invited me back this year too. I have great respect for everyone in the group and they are an awesome bunch of guys. Pretty much everyone in this group has spent at least the last several weeks preparing for this trip. We've all been super busy collecting the gear and food that we think we need for the trip. We've also packed, weighed, unloaded, and repacked our backpacks several times to make sure we have the optimum mix of stuff while not exceeding the weight that we think we can haul up there. Making sure that you don't have too much while making sure you have just enough of the basic things you'll need is an important part of getting ready. We'll be starting out at the trailhead at Worthen Meadow Reservoir, which is at an elevation right about 8,800 feet. Our base camp at Spruce Lake is a little over 4 miles away and sits at an altitude of about 10,050 feet. It's not a long way or a huge elevation change, but if you haven't trained at altitude for this type of trip, then the altitude plus your pack weight can make it a huge challenge and maybe even cause you problems. Of course, once we hit base camp, we always reevaluate what we've taken and make mental notes of what we should have left back and what we maybe should have included but we didn't. A few of the things that you should bring are something warm to wear once the sun has gone down, bear spray, and possibly a large caliber sidearm just in case you're in a situation where your bear spray wasn't effective. Last year my pack weighed about 95 pounds, which was just a little bit too much. I made it to camp just fine last year, but that last mile was really a struggle. This year my pack weighed about 65 pounds and had been stripped of some of the non-essentials from last year. This 30-pound reduction made the hike way more pleasant. There are a few places that you have to cross a creek, and somehow we all managed to keep our feet dry, which is a really good thing. You don't want to start the trip out with soaked feet. It can get pretty miserable on a long hike. The trail starts out pretty easy to follow and it's also well defined. But as we got closer to Spruce Lake, the trail got fairly faint and it was easy to lose. Luckily, there are quite a few cairns on the trail to help guide the way. A cairn is a stack of 2 or more rocks to mark the trail. There are a lot of hikers that consider themselves purists and they don't believe in cairns. In fact, a lot of these hiking purists will even push over cairns that they come across. Eventually, after a couple hours of hiking, we finally made it to our campsite and it was quite a relief. The first thing you do once you've made it to your camp is to set up your tent. Then you unroll and fluff your sleeping bag. Most of the guys on this trip have brought mummy bags. This type of sleeping bag needs to be fluffed up to increase the insulating properties of the fill, and this will help to keep you warm. My bag is a 0-degree extreme bag, which I question sometimes. The 0-degree extreme rating means that in extreme circumstances it can be used for 0-degree conditions. It's got a normal use rating of about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a little old and it's been compressed pretty hard for about the last year or so. It's definitely lost some of its insulating properties, but it should work for this trip. I've also hauled up a 4-man tent, which looks like it would barely fit 2 people, but it should work. And for this year's food, I brought freeze-dried meals and a jet boil stove to heat the water needed to rehydrate them. This approach has saved several pounds on my pack this year. Most of the other guys on this trip have also brought similar meals and stoves. There's quite a range of meals to choose from out there. The Peak brand of meals seemed to taste the best, while the Mountain House brand came in second place. There were a few other brands like Trout, which some of the guys didn't quite find as good. After setting up camp, my cousin Mike and I headed about a quarter mile east to a very small lake. There are 2 lakes in this location and I'm pretty sure they're called the Silver Dollar Lakes. I couldn't find the name on any maps, but one member of our group, Tim, was pretty sure that this was their name. On this trip today, we only fished the closest lake since we didn't have a ton of time until the sun was headed down. To our surprise, this lake was absolutely filled with brook trout and we didn't have any problem convincing them to take a fly or a lure. I bet we could have thrown bare hooks in the water and still caught tons of fish. Their aggressive response whenever we threw something in the water was almost hard to believe. To catch the fish today, I was casting a large red copper john beadhead. This is one of my favorite flies and I have a couple dozen in my fly box. It's got plenty of weight and I can cast it about 60 feet with the very light line that I'm using. Also, my fishing rod is a 7-foot spin cast ugly stick. And my reel is a Shimano 4000 Sahara with rear drag. See, fish on? Fish on! First one for me. Maybe a little 8-incher. So fat. He's a chunk. Oh, it's a nice male too. He's very mature. This guy's probably, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old maybe. Look at that guy. Ooh. Get them back in the water as quick as possible and they're gonna survive. Oh, fish number 2. He's a little bigger. He's tugging. Barely. Here we go. You know, this one felt bigger. He's not. This one's about 7, almost 8. Nice mature male. Very, very pretty. Okay, there you go, buddy. Man, there must be 20 or 30 of them right here. They're all feeding in the shallows. Whee! Another one, just like that. Fish on. They're all brookies in this lake. And they're thick. Nobody ever fishes for these fish. All right when it hits the water. Ooh, fish just like that. Look at that, they're just fighting for it. Ridiculous. Oh, wee. The first one too, well, first one that can get in his mouth. This guy's a nice one. This guy's around maybe 10 or 11. This guy's beautiful, man. Look at that fish, right about 10. Super mature male brookie. Man, look at that guy. Just gorgeous fish. Once I'm by the water, I'll just do that. But all his buddies just saw him get caught, but you know what? They're all gonna just bite again. Oop. Oop. There's a lot of hackle on here, so it's, oh, there we go, got him. Smaller guy. It's amazing. It's amazing, Mike, amazing. Oh, he released himself. Thank you, fish. Let's see if we can get a bigger one. It's quite an audience out here. Oh, got one coming. There he is. Oh, did you get it? I got him. Oh, this guy's super bright. Wow. Look at that one. Oh, he released himself too. They're just sitting right out there. I'm gonna fix it.
Huh?
Let me know if you want me to fix it for you.
It just won't turn.
Oh, you probably spun the line up underneath.
I don't see it.
Okay.
Sit back here and take a peek.
Here's the smallest fish of the day. She is about 6 inches. Definitely a female. Right there. I think. Maybe it's a male. Couldn't have a lake full of just male fish. The audience out here is nuts. Ooh, that's a big guy. What's that? Okay. Ooh, big one. Nice. That was a good take, man. Fish on. That guy's beautiful. Look at that guy. Man. This guy's almost 11. 10 and a half. Ooh, there he goes. Let's see what we can catch out there though. Oop, they're still out there. Got another. Just the number of fish that are out there. Look at that guy. Man, he's tiny, but he's a fighting fool. I guess I would be too if I knew I was going to be dinner. I think he's the smallest fish of the day now. Definitely a male. He's mature though. Ooh. Woohoo, fish on! I'm gonna get sick of saying that, but
Actually, he's bigger.
he's a beefy puppy. He's nice.
Is he going to back?
Maybe. We'll see here. Is he an eater? Looks a little skinnier when we get him up. He's running 10. Solid 10. He's ancient too. Got that giant head and small body. Okay. There we go. Beautiful fish. I still don't know what's going on. There we go. Big one?
No, but he took it right there. I was having trouble reeling.
Here's a big one. Bigger. Can't just hoist this guy. Oh, see how big he is. Oh yeah, this could be my big fat fish of the day. We'll see.
Maybe that was just a head. Oh, he broke my hook. My line. Broke my line. So here we go. He's about the same size as my big ones, but he's a little beefier, 10.5-ish. Put him back in the water. And I got to retie. I should probably strip a little bit of line off of here. It's very weak. Lots of fish on it. Ooh, me too. Oh, nice. Yeah, some people wade up a creek and catch a few fish. Here we are fishing from the shore of a lake. Look at that guy. Man, he's ancient. He's easily 7 or 8 years old. There he is. Wow. This fish is just perfect. Gonna put him back in. It's good. So many fish over the weed bed. Some smaller guys. Explosion on the water. Fish on again. It's not very big. Looked like a female. She got off. Explosion. Pretty much every cast. It's a female. Little fatty. Just a little chunky female. Look at that girl. Whoa. Woo. Here's another nice biggie. Came out from under the rock. This guy's probably one of the oldest fish in the lake. Pretty fish. A little over 11. Very skinny though. Super big head. That's how you can tell he's super old. Yep. That's the big indicator. They get a big head and they start getting a skinny body. There's a small audience there. See if we can get them to play. Yep. They will play one after another. My goodness. Yep, he's not giant. He's a maybe 8-er, 8.5. Here's another nice fish. Get him back in the water. Nice deep water. He's good. Another one. Here's another nice brookie. Looks like a kind of like a male, but got to get him back in the water. See if I can get it across the water fast enough so they can't get it. Oh no! Top water fishing. There you go, little buddy. Another nice male brookie. Yeah, an audience, literally an audience, staring at me, just taking everything I throw at them. Whew. They're very aerobatic, man. They slam it on the surface. It's a female too. She was just so angry and hungry at the same time. Hangry, is that what it's called? Maybe. Yeah, oh, she's a fatty too. I think she's the chunkiest fish I've caught so far. Ooh, biggie. Yeah, the big ones are under the rocks. Another 9-incher. Yeah, me too. Giant head. They're ancient fish. Yep, little body, giant head. It's a bugle mouth brook trout. All right, buddy. Oh my gosh, this guy's big. Oh, he's beefy anyway. And he's very aggressive. Tried it once, missed him. Let's see if we can do it again. Yep, did it again. He's almost 9 inches, maybe right at 9. It's got some meat to him though. It's a male, it's got big old teeth. We're gonna let him go.
After fishing this first silver dollar lake for about 2 hours, we decided it was probably time to head back to camp. We totally lost count of how many fish we caught here, but it was well over 50 each. My cousin kept 3 or 4 for dinner, which was probably doing the rest of the fish a favor since there are way too many fish in this little tiny lake. The largest fish in this lake was probably about 11 inches, which is pretty normal for a lake like this that's overpopulated. We finally made it back to camp and let everybody know how good the fishing was at that little Silver Dollar lake. They may or may not have believed us that night, but some of them would go fish there the next day and then they'd confirm how good the fishing was. After discussing the day with everyone, it was time to get the campfire started. This is definitely one of the best parts of the trip, just sitting around listening to that fire crackle. Oh, and one of the guys brought a small guitar on the trip. This made the experience 1,000 times better. At least 3 of the guys can play that guitar very well. Just take a listen, this is pretty good stuff. Well, that's pretty much it for the first video in this series. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can find a way back here for all the epic upcoming content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.
Bears? Plane or satellite? Yep. Yep. Plane. Another one from the other direction, not a flying Tesla.
This is truly flyover country. There's several major airlines that fly directly over these mountains.